Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about psychoanalytical theory of Sigmund Freud. So let's begin our discussion. Before starting the theory, first we will see what we are going to study today. First we will see the introduction, then we will briefly read about Sigmund Freud, then we will see the components of the theory, and in this theory only we will see another theory of Sigmund Freud which is also very important, which is psychosexual development theory. Then after that we will see the educational implication of these theories, and the last part is conclusion. So let's begin. So first is introduction. Psychoanalytical approach is developed by Sigmund Freud. So all we know that this theory is developed by Sigmund Freud, and it is an approach or the theory which is used for both as a personality theory and as a therapy theory. So usually the psychologists and the mental health staffs, they use this theory to recognize the behavior of the patients and to give them therapy. And in education system it is used as the personality theory. So now we will see the author of the theory, Sigmund Freud. So he was born in 1856 and he died in 1939. So he was an Austrian neurologist. So he was a physician, and he was the one who has propounded this theory, the psychoanalytic theory. And he was the first person who proposed a complete theory on personality. Now let's begin our theory, the main part of our discussion, that is the psychoanalytic theory. So Sigmund Freud, he has the idea that the first 5 years of a child is most important, because he believed that the character of an individual developed in the first 5 years. So basically ये बोलते ये थे कि स्टार्टिंग के 5 years जो किसी भी बच्चे के होते हैं, those are the important years, and यहाँ पे बच्चे का कैरेक्टर डेवलप होता है, and what he will do in future, these things, the roots are in the first 5 years. Okay, so next we will see the components of the theory. So this theory was propounded by Sigmund Freud in 1923, and this theory has 3 parts. Okay, generally we call it as tripartite. So the first is the id, second is the ego, and the third one is the superego. Let's discuss one by one what this id, ego and superego are. So before discussing this, each part of this id, ego and superego, they have unique features, and they contribute to human behavior. Okay, one way or the other way, these three, id, ego and superego, they are contributing to the human behavior, and ये तीनों के मिलने से एक human behavior, एक human personality evolve होती है. And this id, ego and super ego, you may have that question that कि यहाँ ये रहते कहाँ पे हैं, where does these lies? So these are not a part of the body or the some organs. It is a system in our brain. Okay, so it is not a physical thing. It is like our thinking. These things mold our thinkings. Okay, so it is the system basically. So let's begin. What is ego? What is id? So it is the primitive and instinctive component of personality. So it means that the primary thinking capacity जो होती है personality की, this is the id. So when a child is born, he will born with the id. Okay. So it is biological component and it presents from the birth itself. सो बर्थ के टाइम से ही इट जो होते हैं वो स्टार्ट हो जाती है. इट इज़ अ इम्पल्सिव मीन्स द चाइल्ड बिहेव वेरी स्टबर्न एंड क्रेजी नेचर होता है, एंड दे वांट इमीडिएट response. Okay, so immediate urge to satisfy their needs, that is the id. Okay, so the personality of newborn is all id. ओके, सो जो न्यू बॉर्न होते हैं 0 to 2 years तक, they will have only it. They don't have the ego and super ego concept. These will develop later on. Okay, so this we will now see the features of the id. So these remain infantile throughout life, means जो id होती है it will get suppressed but it will be there throughout the life. And the it is the thing which is not affected by reality, means if I want something, then I'll not see whether it is possible, whether it is not possible, whether it is right or wrong. I'll not see any good and bad things. I'll just want the thing. Okay, so it is not affected by reality. And when it achieved, we feel pleasure, and vice versa. Vice versa means if it is not achieved, we will have the sadness. Okay, so if we see the example, the small kids, when they are hungry, they'll start crying. So this is the id, like they want food, they want milk. So this is the id. So when their need is satisfied, when their hunger is fulfilled, then they'll be calm, they'll feel pleasure. So this is one example of it. And the other example of it is small kids and small infants, they don't want their toys to be shared by others. They want everything with themselves only. Okay, they don't want to share. So this is the id. Next is ego. What is ego? Ego is the part of it, okay, which has been modified by the direct influence of external world. So now when a child is growing, so he will learn so many things from the external world, and the concept of ego will develop. So the ego, it will differentiate between reality and unrealistic things. Okay, so ego works by reason, means the child will now onwards the child will work on rationality and reason. So now we will see the features of ego. So ego is weak relative to id. It is very strong, stubborn, crazy character. But ego is relatively weaker than id. Okay. So Freud, the Sigmund Freud, he has made an analogy, an example that it is like a horse and ego is like a rider. Okay, horse and horse rider. So horse is like horse is very much you know what do we say, horse is not restricted to anybody and he can run anywhere. So the rider is very necessary. So what riders does is he will control the horse. So ego is like this only. So it is uncontrolled wants, but ego will control the id. So ego is it was primitive, and ego is secondary process which is rational and realistic. Now we will learn what is superego. So before learning superego, before learning superego, we will see the example of ego. What ego in the id we have seen that a child wants all the toys with himself only. Now what he will do is, in the ego concept, he will share his toys with other kids of the home. Okay. Now we will learn what is superego. Superego means values and morals of the society. So it develops between 3 to 5 years. So when the kid is between 3 to 5 years, the superego will develop. Superego is of two types. One is conscience, another one is ideal self. So conscience means we will have one inner voice if we are doing something wrong. So we will have that guilt. It is the basically it is the superego. Okay. So if we see the example of superego, now the kid will go out and he will play in the ground. He will share all his toys with other children, and he will feel ashamed and he will feel guilty if he quarrel, or if we fight with some other boys or girls. So this is the superego concept. Now we will move to psychosexual stages of development. So Sigmund Freud believed that we go through 5 stages of psychosexual development, and that each stage of development we experience pleasure in one part or the other part of the body. So what Sigmund Freud said is that every human being have to go through with 5 stages of psychosexual development, and by these 5 stages the personality of a person or a human being is developed. Now we'll see what are these 5 stages. So I have mentioned the stages, the age range, and erogenous zone. So first is oral stage. So oral stage में क्या होता है, it lasts from birth to 1.5 years. The pleasure center is mouth. Then is second is anal stage, which is from 1.5 years to 3 years. So here the erogenous zone is bowel and bladder elimination. Next is phallic stage, which is from 3 years to 6 years. Here erogenous zone is genitalia. Latency stage is the fourth stage, which lasts from 6 years to puberty. So puberty तक रहता है. Then is genital stage, which starts from puberty and it lasts till death. So these are the stages and the age range. Now I will learn one by one all the stages. First stage is oral stage. So it occurs during first 18 month of a child. So first 18 month means 1.5 years. So here mouth is the pleasure center. What happens is the small infants, what they do is they take everything into their mouth. So this the pleasure center is mouth. Okay, it helps in reducing tension. So when they are taking, so they are reducing their tension through mouth only. In this, infant is solely dependent on caretaker. So especially infants are dependent on their mother only, and they develop sense of trust and comfort through mother. Okay. Next is anal stage. So anal stage is the second stage, which starts from 1.5 years and lasts till 3 years. So in this stage the child will understand about eliminative functions. Eliminative functions mean bowel and this urine bladder movement he will learn. Primary focus is to control bladder and bowel movement. And in this stage parents role is very important. If parents are supportive, then the child will become a productive adult. And in this stage toilet training is very important. Through toilet training the child will come in contact with the rules of the society. Okay, because the rules of the society, what the like where we have to go, like we should not do the things in the society, we should be in separate place, all these things the child will learn here. Next is phallic stage. Phallic stage is between 3 to 6 years. The child begins to discover the difference between males and females. Now till the 3 years the child will not have the differences between males and females. Now he will understand. And the important part of this stage is Oedipus complex. Oedipus complex means Sigmund Freud says that a girl child or a daughter is more attached to her father, and a son is more attached to his mother. And in this stage the child will feel uh, enmity with the same sex parents. Okay, so daughter will feel bad about mother and son will feel bad about father. They will feel enemy to the same sex parents, and they will attract to opposite sex parents. Now comes the latency stage, which is the fourth stage, which occurs between 6 years to puberty. So in this stage development of social and intellectual skills takes place, because from this stage the child will start to go to school and they will learn so many things. And here develops the super ego, because they will interact with the society, they will have so many friends now, and in this stage also only self confidence will also develop. Now the last stage is genital stage, which occurs from puberty onwards till death. So here also the here the person will become adult, the child will become adult, and he will have some conflict. In adolescence, usually the conflict occurs between parents and the children, because the adolescents want independence and they want to experiment with so many things, and they feel the parents are unnecessary limiting their independence. So this is the reason usually the conflict arise between parents and the adolescents. But later on, this will completely uh, resolved, and the in this state only individual is capable of functioning independently. And from the past four stages, we are watching that the child is learning, and child is doing everything for his or herself. But now the individual will work for the welfare of other people. So here the individual is working toward the betterment of the society, and he want to give back to the society. And this the success of this stages depends on the success of past four stages. If the past four stages are completed successfully, means individual will become well balanced and caring. Now the theory has been completed. Now we will see the educational implication. So first education implication is understanding development. So this theory helps us to know the age appropriate development of a child, and through this we can give them age appropriate learning experience as a educator. And the second one is individual differences. So this theory shows us that the personality of individual is different according to the circumstances which he has been gone through in the five stages. So the teachers or the educators, they have to support the individual, they have to support the children and the students, and they have to respect the individual differences and give individual care. Next is role of early experiences. So we can see that in so many cases the child are slow learner, the child does not take participation in curricular and extracurricular activities. So the teacher has the responsibility that he or she must know the early experiences of the child, and accordingly they have to deal with the students. This next thing is understanding behavior. So educators should use this theory to know the behavior of the students, and they have to address the issues of the students based on because with this theory we will learn that at what stage the students have what kind of problems. So based on that we can help the students, we can address their issues, and we can behave with them compassionately. Next is classroom management. So we should know that at what stage of life and at what age the students have anxiety. So we have to minimize their anxiety, and we have to support them. Last is now conclusion. So this theory explains that how mind plays significant role in shaping behavior and personality. And in this theory we can learn that early childhood experiences are so much important, and a child's relationship with his parents is also very much important in the development of personality. So we have to know the role of a teacher and the parents in development of personality through this theory. Okay, thank you.